Hello, please subscribe to me. Analysis time. Quick recap. Astro Toilet confronted GMAN Toilet and was about to fight him. So GMAN starts charging up his lasers with a suspicious smirk on his face, and now he fires his lasers, including his core laser beam, at the Astro Toilet. The Astro Toilet responds by absorbing the energy from Jimmy's lasers, and while he does so, the lasers are so strong that they actually push the Astro backwards. But that doesn't stop him, so he transfers the stolen energy into his top claw and fires it back at Jimmy. At this moment, GMAN Toilet blocks the blast with an energy shield, and let me tell you something crazy. So, one day I was comparing Titans and G-Toilet in my head because I was bored, and I realized that upgraded Titan TV Man would probably lose against Jimmy 4.0 because of one factor. Those mini-cores over GMAN's head could likely create an energy shield to block any blows to the head from OTM's sword. And this insane prediction came true in part 1 of this episode. How cool! The Astro seems to have a trick hidden up his claws, so he pulls it out and throws it straight up to GMAN's energy shield. And this is a tentacle, like the one the Scientist Titan did, the upgraded Hook Toilet, and the four-legged Octo Toilet did as well. Now, you can notice red dots all over the tentacles, and this is most likely stolen from the Skibidi headquarters, because all of the tentacles there were infused with some sort of the same red color or energy. It seems to absorb some of the energy from Jimmy's energy shield, or do the opposite, and overload the energy device with energy until it stops working, given that the Astro still has lots of excess energy and no core to store it in. So this would make sense. It also seems like he wants to pull our G-Chad towards him to kiss him on the lips, or maybe rip his head out of the toilet, or crush it, or repeat his initial plans from episode 60. Anyways, GMAN folds his 2 jet booster turbines 180 degrees and activates them to push him backwards out of the range of the Astro's tentacles. I must say, smart move, dude. Using this time, he uses a new ability that we haven't seen on him before. And this ability is to cover up his face with a mask, and this was like the scene when he got the sick mask from the X-18 in the Skibidi zombie-verse for me personally. They fire their lasers at each other at the same time, which causes them to intercept each other's lasers, so they form a massive energy ball in the middle. At first, it would appear that G-Toilet's lasers are overpowering the Astro Toilet, but the Astro Toilet makes a quick comeback and starts completely overpowering G-Toilet with his lasers. It seems that G-Toilet might get injured or even die at any moment soon. But even the Astro Toilet's lasers cannot melt through the thick, durable iron plot armor of the G-Toilet, so he calls upon his kamikaze toilets to dive bomb the Astro. The first 2 do nothing, but he still turns around to laser them all down, which is a terrible decision for him, since G-Toilet uses this chance to laser Astro from the behind. And if you look closely, you can notice the GMAN is winning the laser battle just before the Astro turns around to kill the kamikazes, and is still winning even when the Astro fires with his full power in a desperate attempt to laser the enemy. The Astro Toilet seems to be sick of the games, so he says, "Enough games," and GMAN fires his lasers at the toilet. He easily dodges the lasers and flies up to G-Toilet and smacks him on the mask twice, and flies around him, removing his mask and his upper 2 laser cannons along the way. After he removes his mask, he grabs onto his head, and this was just like episode 60, apart from the fact that before, the Scientist saved him, but now he has a new trick in his toilet. He produces an insane loud sound that knocks the enemy off him. By the way, the scene of Astro Toilet repeating episode 60 was leaked, but as an unrendered image, and many people said it was a troll leak because of how small Astro looked. But the reality is that in the leak, the angle wasn't good enough for a proper size comparison, and Astro Toilet had just zoomed up to GMAN Toilet in that scene, so he would have appeared to look smaller and be slightly warped out of shape, but that is just what this super speed warp looks like. Anyways, this sound is strong enough to glitch the POV cameraman's lens, enough to make it look like the sky is red, and I think there is a speaker stolen from upgraded Titan Speakerman in his throat, like they stole this technology while they had captured Titan Speakerman and were upgrading him. Because this scream is similar to the screams that Titan Speakerman made when he was infected. We can see the frown on the Astro Toilet's face as G-Toilet begins to activate his rage mode. G-Toilet begins to chase Astro Toilet while firing his lasers at him like Awesome did in part 1 of 70, until Astro Toilet zooms away, and during this scene, GMAN is so scared of when his enemy might strike that he is shivering and his face muscles seem to be moving on their own now. He looks around, awaiting the inevitable strike of the Astro Toilet, and during this moment, he must see the Astro Toilet, because he raises one eyebrow, and the Astro Toilet strikes from this direction immediately after. The Astro Speed attacks G-Man, breaking his glasses, and then does the same thing, completely knocking his glasses of his head. The third time, he activates his shield at the right time and temporarily stops the fast toilet when Astro rams into the yellow energy shield, so Jimmy fires his lasers, but Astro disappears into the distance. We hear his warp sound a couple more times in the distance, and he appears from behind G-Man. This is a reference to the same character appearing behind upgraded DJ Toilet and ripping him apart. But unlike DJ Toilet, GMAN shows a smirk on his face as if he knows the Astro Toilet is there and quickly turns to the enemy and fires back and headbutts him. G-Toilet turns around to face the Astro and fires his laser barrage, but the Astro Toilet is cunning, so he absorbs the laser barrage and fires it back at Jimmy as 2 energy balls. And after this, it might be a good decision to upgrade Jimmy Toilet to give him an energy-absorbing power or weapon with the power of absorbing and manipulating energy. The Astro Toilet seems convinced that it's over for Jimmy and that he should give up, but Jimmy has other plans, as shown by the smirk on his face. He sends an energy ball straight from his core, and for some reason his core actually looks like Titan Cameraman's core a little bit, even though it looked more like Titan TV Man's core before. This could even mean that this is a fake Jimmy, or the other one is a fake. Anyways, he deactivates his lasers to pretend that this is his last resort, and I must say, good acting. The energy ball flies into the air behind the Astro Toilet, but he catches it and throws it back as he says, "That's all?" This was all a trap to make the Astro Toilet think he is safe with catching his energy balls. Jimmy is very mad and sends 2 energy balls out of his core, but you might notice that these have purple sparks on them, and this is because they are infused with the purple hypnosis of the TV men, because it is their purple glow that makes them do whatever the TV man wants. So Astro Toilet says pathetic and catches them, and before he can throw them back, the purple energy gets absorbed into his bottom 2 tentacles, which controls them, and they start trying to kill the Astro. The top tentacle slices of the right tentacle, and then the left stabs him in the face, and he falls down to the ground. While this happens, Jimmy is laughing maniacally, and Astro Toilet gets up a few seconds later. His face is covered in blood, and he only has his top tentacle remaining and can barely stay in the air. Jimmy starts to fire his lasers at him until a mysterious orange energy shield appears and blocks Jimmy's lasers. He moves his shield out of the way and fires with his epic cannon that disables Jimmy's energy shield for a while and covers him with red spark, and the Toilet Emperor references are insane. First of all, when he appeared, an eerie sound started playing in the background that usually plays when the Toilet Emperor is in the scene in Virlance's series. This sound was also playing at the laser duel. Second of all, the gas mask and glowing red eyes. The Toilet Emperor has a very similar gas mask and also has red eyes. Third of all, his cannon looks exactly like the Toilet Emperor's core, and it has the exact same color. The gas mask resembles Virlance's mask even more, and the cannon resembles the Skibidi driller from Virlance more, and the eerie music is also sometimes accompanied by Virlance, so it could be a reference to him instead. Anyways, I think he has earned the name Astro Emperor. He is about to fire at Jimmy, until Titan Speakerman interrupts his rampage by firing his blasters at the Astro Emperor, which the Astro Emperor kindly responds to by firing his blaster at the Titan. And even though he completely misses, the shockwave alone seems to be enough to knock Titan Speakerman down to the ground. He seems very powerful, as Boom himself said that there will be an incredibly strong character in this episode, and this must be him. Despite this, I still think he will be a pawn and not the real Astro leader. The Astro Emperor grabs Astro Scorpion and zooms away with him, probably to the base to repair. Titan Speakerman seems to be angered, so he takes his anger out on G-Toilet with his core laser, which gets blocked by Jimmy's energy shield as Titan TV Man teleports in and uses his screens on G-Toilet, and he closes his eyes to avoid the glow and flies away. Titan TV Man doesn't want him to escape, and instead wants revenge, so he tries to cut off Jimmy's jetpack, but he misses and Jimmy flies away. Titan TV Man says this B-word will not escape, as Titan Speakerman flies after Jimmy. We turn over to see Titan Cameraman changing his acid arm for an Astro's arm, and he says, for plunger. That's right. Titan Cameraman finally talked. Now, let me cut to the chase. Lots of people have been saying that the Astro arm has been letting him talk, but it didn't, and I will prove my case to you. So, once upon a time, somebody asked Boom how the Astro toilet can speak, and he replied by saying that all Skibidi toilets can speak all earthly languages. So if the arm made him talk because it originally belonged to something that could talk, that means the acid arm, and the buzzsaw arm that he had before would have allowed him to talk, because they belonged to Skibidi toilets that could speak all earthly languages, but he couldn't talk then. It is also possible that his anger after Plunger Man died has given him a voice, but if it was that way, he would sound angrier, and that theory doesn't make sense in general. He has probably always had this voice, just kidding. Look at that on his back. That just has to be a speaker hidden underneath jetpack. So he talks through that. Case closed. And no, there are no purple sparks, and the arm isn't shaking side to side, so no, that arms is not controlled by Jimmy anymore. Anyways, thank you for watching. Bye.